Yo, it is your reigning, defending, undisputed VTuber World Champion Dojavon, also live here on the Twitch. Feel free, as usual. Hey, you like wrestling content? Guess what we do too? You can go ahead and join us over on the Twitch, which is in the description below. Peep your boy, like, comment, subscribe, and yeah. I wanted to go ahead and talk about one more thing in terms of the whole Money in the Bank fiasco sub up indeed. And that is the whole situation involving the Money in the Bank contract itself. Now, I've heard a lot of people talking about that Drew McIntyre, the way that they booked Drew, was effectively wasting the briefcase. I've been hearing arguments against it, saying no, there's no other way to have the briefcase be booked because Gunther is going to have a long reign. Same thing for Cody, although I will also say, y'all really certain that Gunther is going to win. I hope he does, but at the same time, we thought that Drew was going to win at Clash of the Castle, and we thought that Drew was going to walk out of WrestleMania still champion, and lo and behold, what happened? Hell, we thought that it was a good chance that Seth was going to win, and again, he didn't. So I do want to go ahead and bring that into question, but at the same time, on one end, yes, the briefcase was wasted. On the other, no, there's no really other good way to use it. Either which way, I have to question, do we just throw away the Money in the Bank contract? Look at the past, 10 years of the Money in the Bank contract, past 9 or so years, and the majority of the holders have either failed, they have either cashed in successfully and had lackluster reigns, or they have cashed in successfully and have been paper champions. You have the likes of Sheamus, which had a paper reign when he eventually lost to Roman Reigns on an episode of Monday Night Raw a few weeks after the fact. You had Dean Ambrose, which was a good run, an alright reign. You had Carmella, which by far the best time as Miss Money in the Bank, had an okay championship reign. That was kind of just, it was okay. Baron Corbin, which failed his cash in on Jinder Mahal. Alexa Bliss, which successfully cashed it in on the same night, and lo and behold, she lost it the following pay-per-view, the title back to Ronda Rousey. Braun Strowman, he failed. Bayley won, and she cashed in on the same night. And to play devil's advocate for this, allow me to play devil's advocate when it comes to Bayley, because the banger championship run she would have would be the title reign after this one. Although this did do the thing that you would hope the Money in the Bank contract would do, and that's either make a main event star or effectively salvage somebody's career that is not going too hot, going too well. But at the same time, you also had Brock Lesnar, who won the other Money in the Bank contract and then cashed it on Seth Rollins a good 2 months later. Lost the title back the following month at SummerSlam, right back to Seth Rollins. Asuka won the Money in the Bank briefcase, but for being honest, she might as well have just won the title outright, which she kind of did. Might as well have been a ladder match for the title. Otis won the briefcase, but then, well, he lost it to The Miz, who tried to cash it in, then he failed, and he went, no, it doesn't count. He gave it back to The Miz, he cashed it in again, this time successfully, and then he lost the title 8 days later. Nikki ASH had a lackluster time, cashed it in after not the same day, the day after, and then lo and behold, before long, reign didn't go that well. Then she lost the title and then went back down the card. Big E cashed it in successfully. Wasn't the wrong winner, but he was not given the reign he deserved after the fact. Liv Morgan had the briefcase for an hour or two, cashed it in, and lost the title back a few months later to Ronda Rousey. Didn't have her best championship run with that. It wouldn't be until nowadays where she would have a genuinely amazing title run starting to bloom to a degree. Austin Theory is the worst Money in the Bank holder. I don't care how you feel about Drew McIntyre. Yes, it was stupid what they did with that. But at the same time, Drew McIntyre failed his cash in for a world title because somebody screwed him over. Austin Theory cashed in the Money in the Bank contract in an open challenge on Seth Rollins and still lost for the United States title. Breeze successfully cashed in, but his time holding the contract didn't exactly set the world on fire. And his title reign is a bit to be desired. I will say, and I still wish he lost the title at Money in the Bank. But I will say this title reign, I'm sorry, it's kind of ass. It's, I mean, not the worst, but it is not great at all. It's not good. It's not great. He's been having enjoyable matches, but questionable to bad finishes. Not to mention him constantly winning with help when he is like, I don't want help. It'll be one thing as a heel if you get help to win your matches. Another thing if you're a heel and you don't want help to win your matches, and then you get help anyways, which in turn doesn't make you look that great. And yes, I'm ignoring the botch fiasco. Doesn't change the fact that still kind of makes him look different. And I question, and I'm probably going to make a video on this tomorrow in the coming days, so keep an eye out on that as to whether or not this championship reign of Damian Priest is kind of meh on purpose. And the reason I say that and I question that is I feel it's going to be another case scenario akin to that of a Liv Morgan, where your briefcase cash in the subsequent title reign is not going to be as good as your next championship run. And I'll say a little bit of a sneak peek as to why I think that Priest's time as Mr. Money in the Bank cashing in that title won't compare. It's because of the whole Judgment Day fiasco, and I feel like he will have an amazing, if not at the very least a significant step up in terms of championship ring quality come his next title run. This title run, on the other hand, nah. That being said, he also had Io Sky, in which in terms of women probably had the best results with the title, with the briefcase, cashing it in the subsequent reign. McIntyre, we not talk about that. And in general, I've started to question whether or not the Money in the Bank briefcase is becoming more of an obstacle for WWE to handle. Whether or not the Money in the Bank briefcase is becoming a bit of a nuisance for the WWE. And I've been asking as well, what can we do for the Money in the Bank situation? I've heard some people say that we should revamp it, have it go back to being a when you least expect it, not being predictable anymore, have it be out of nowhere. And then you also have the fact that, well, have it in your plans to actually have this briefcase be cashed in on. And you don't need everything to be super long-term storytelling. And even then, you could go ahead and sow seeds leading up to the briefcase, which you could have done this year with a Chad Gable, and then have him cash it on Gunther, which, by the way, I want to also say this, I don't like this idea that we need to have every single title reign be 100, 200, 300, 500, 1,000 days. I do not want Gunther to win the title and then hold it until 2027. I have no interest whatsoever to see a very long title reign with Gunther. I would love to see him hold it until WrestleMania, maybe at the latest, of which case, to those that say that there's no place for the Money in the Bank contract because of Cody and Gunther, at the same time, somebody should lose their title around, if not after, or at WrestleMania. My other suggestion is to start treating the Money in the Bank contract like we do with the Hell in a Cell, where it doesn't get fully abolished, it doesn't get fully tossed away, but it only pops up once in a while. And I don't like if you were to ask me a few months ago or even a year ago whether or not they should stop having Money in the Bank be a pay-per-view, I would have immediately said no. I would have full-heartedly said no. Well, with how things have gone and how things are going, and taking note of the past 10 or so years of Money in the Bank contracts, feels like it might be the wiser decision to go back to how we used to do it. Have the Money in the Bank contracts be a thing at WrestleMania, doesn't have to be every single year, and have it be something that is properly intended to build an individual is the main event scene. It shouldn't be something for former multi-time world champions to win it. And if you are going to have a former multi-time world champion win it, cash in. And even then, I'm still just kind of disappointed with how things went. But in this case scenario, you would only be able to pull out that Money in the Bank briefcase when you actually have plans on the briefcase holder to do something. It's a bigger win because it's at WrestleMania. It's what we used to do. And on top of that, if you don't want to actually book a Money in the Bank holder and it's kind of just an obstacle to kind of get over with, hey, you don't gotta do it. If you don't want to do it, you don't gotta do it. And I've also seen some people, it is probably just because this is the IWC, but I've seen some people say and recommend that we should even have Tiffany Stratton fail her cash-in, especially since they pointed out the fact that no women have failed their cash-in, which is a F-tier idea. But at the end of the day, I want to know what y'all think. Do y'all think we should get rid of the Money in the Bank contract, the Money in the Bank briefcase? Do you think we should pull it back? Do you think we need to put more well-intentions towards the briefcase? I don't know what we do full-heartedly. I don't know, man. Like, comment, subscribe. Yeah, see ya.